Boy, hey, you look at some of these matches. They say resilience is a very strong motivation. History, legacy, all of these things and more can make somebody feel invincible. Some don't even fear death. Then again, I also like the song Children Don't Fear the Reaper, so I mean. But anyway, I must say, I enjoy what they have become, and it is true to what the pay-per-view says, because I thought they were dead, but I guess Impact Wrestling is hard to kill. Hello, everybody. Well, I'm just a simple man, and my name is Noah Foster. Welcome to another Simplin Predictin Wrestling video. For those of you who don't know, I am, of course, talking about Impact Wrestling's upcoming pay-per-view, Hard to Kill. Hard to Kill is sure to set the, como se dice, direction of Impact Wrestling for this year. So I try to find a pen to go over my notes. There we go. And I feel like we're in for some major changes and interesting moments. And with the way they really have diversified the roster, bringing back some classics and really grooming some brand new stars per se, I feel like they got big things coming up. So I'm just going to briefly go through this pay-per-view and give my thoughts on what I think will be the first, results of 2020 as we head into the new direction of Impact Wrestling for the new decade. Now they're back on Access TV, it seems, and they're not dead. What a fitting name for a pay-per-view, too. Hard to kill, especially when it comes to some of these wrestlers, which we'll get into now. Our first match is, I guess you could say, simply a grudge match between Moose and Rhino. Moose, of course, coming off a tremendous victory back over Ken Shamrock at Bound for Glory. And then Rhino, who basically just got done with a feud with RVD, who also turned him at Bound for Glory. Losing it, I might add. Basically, he and Moose run into each other. Moose says, I can offer you some advice. And next thing you know, Rhino didn't like that. And the two brawled insanely backstage for a number of occasions, and so the match was made official. So, looking at this, as he keeps calling it, creating his own legend, the legend of Moose. But seeing Rhino being the veteran here, I'm just going to say right now, it's Gore versus Spear. Which move do I believe that's more effective? It's not necessarily what I believe move is more effective, it's who I see winning. And truth be told, Moose pulled all the shenanigans out Bound for Glory when I thought Kim Shamrock was going to beat him. So I'm just going to go out and say that Moose wins this, too. I'm going with Moose. And as far as what's next, I can still see Rhino, of course, contributing, just like Tommy Dreamer, to Impact Wrestling. And as far as Moose goes, hey, maybe he'll actually go after a title. X Division Championship? Don't know. Next match coming up is a match where a man believes he has to from a mountain versus a, well, uncontrollable monster, per se. Or at least it seems like he's becoming that. It is Madman Fulton representing OVE, Ohio versus Everything, versus the so-called most dangerous man in the business, Ken Shamrock. And this match was, of course, brought on when Ken Shamrock and Tessa Blanchard, who have tagged in. Okay, let me just say this. It's not intergender wrestling. It's just wrestling, all right? At this point, day and age, they're all just wrestlers wrestling. Promotions have lived off of this form of wrestling and made it their own. And it's probably some of the most fun matches you can see. Hell, I saw Drew Gulak take on freaking Candice LeRae. What more do I have to say? Kylie Ray versus Orange Cassidy is still one of my favorite intergender matches to this day. There, I said it. Anyway, as far as this match goes, I remember that after the impromptu inter-wrestling tag match, because I don't want to say intergender. I just feel like that word's just meh. With Tessa Blanchard and Ken Shamrock versus Madman Fulton and Sami Callihan. Of course, OVE won, shenanigans aside. Sami left, Madman Fulton was not done. He destroyed Ken Shamrock to the point that Sami almost lost control of him. But he told him no more, and basically, Madman Fulton says, I'm going to destroy in you everything. And Ken Shamrock says, I've been in the ring with a lot of hard-hitting tough men. You're just another man I got to go through. But seeing how Ken Shamrock's just here to really make wrestling fun again, I feel like right now, with the momentum he has, and I'm from Ohio, you damn well better believe that I'm going to be going with my boys here. Because it is Ohio versus everything. Everything. Everything! And that's why I'm going to go with Madman Fulton for the win. He also wrestled for one of my independent promotions right here in town, Powerbomb Wrestling. If you're in the greater Northwest Ohio area, I highly advise you check it out. In Chaos Wrestling as well. Anyway, Madman Fulton for the win. Moving on from there, though, we go into what is really being called a dream match. And yet it was brought on because he interrupted the Machine himself in an interview regarding his future plans in Impact Wrestling after losing again his chance to win the Impact World Championship from the Death Machine, Sami Callihan, who comes in and interrupts the pay-per-view, the interview, being led by Jimmy Jacobs. Rob Van Dam with Katie Forbes, which has basically become your sex highlight, it seems, nowadays for Impact Wrestling. Not that there's anything wrong with that, it just seems a little bit overkill. Anyway, this match basically, again, like I said, it was brought on because he interrupted him, and Brian Cage did not agree with the direction, the attitude, or the way Rob Van Dam treats basically the rest of the talent. So we got basically what's being called a dream match. But the question is this: who do I see winning? I really feel like in this day and era of Impact Wrestling, I feel like the vets are going to lead the up-and-coming talent. And that's why I'm not really going with a lot of the vets here, per se. Of course, the vets I'm talking about are ECW originals. But with that being said, Katie Forbes, she's not only going to be a distraction, she's definitely going to play her part. Just like she did when it was RVD versus Rhino. But I feel like Brian Cage is going to have an ace in the hole, and it's not going to be Melissa Santos. I just feel like Brian Cage is going to somehow beat RVD. I'm going with Brian Cage for the win. And it should be a fun match. Anyway, moving on from there, we go into the championship matches now. Our first is the Impact World Tag Team Championships between The North, the Walking Woman himself, Alexander, and his partner, All Ego, Ethan Page. Sorry, I forgot his other name. Anyway, they're facing a team that won a 4-way number 1 contenders tag team match, but it didn't come without a price. In the team of Willie Mack, who was voted to be Star to Watch this year in 2020 according to Impact Wrestling Awards, and his partner, the former X Division champion, Rich Swann. The North has been on a tremendous roll ever since winning these Impact World Tag Team Championships all the way back at Bash of the Brewway before Slammiversary. Successfully defending them there and also successfully defending them at Bound for Glory. And I thought we were going to have a title change. Of course, one team didn't blow. And then we've seen this team have single exhibitions, including the likes of Marufuji. Now, these two, they have all the momentum behind them, but they're also at 100% because apparently it looks like Willie Mack during that match, he got injured, taking a lot of high-risk maneuvers. I still can't believe how he does that freaking moonsault. And now he's wondering, can he do this? He doesn't want to hold Rich Swann down. But Rich Swann has told him to basically pull yourself together. We are going to do this together. Man up. So, my question is to myself, do I see new World Tag Team Champions? At first I was thinking about it, especially with Willie Mack being the one to watch. But the North and my friends on Twitter, per se, they kind of have convinced me. The North has been on an unbelievable reign lately. So, as I keep it simple, I am actually going to go with retainment. I'm going to say the North actually retains these tag team championships. But it would be crazy if, for example, Rich Swann throws in the towel because Willie Mack is so hurt. Or Willie Mack, he has to literally leave because he can't compete, and it's a 2-on-1 handicap match. But somewhere within me, now 49-51 per se in my brain, I feel like the North is going to retain. So I'm just going to say the North retains, by hook or by crook. Because again, they could get DQ, and they're not afraid to do that. Now we move on to something that could have implications on the Impact World Championship picture. As Eddie Edwards, who won the gauntlet at Bound for Glory for the Call Your Shot trophy per se, he is putting it on the line against the unbreakable Michael Elgin, who still to this day had one of my favorite matches last year in Impact Wrestling against Marufuji at Bound for Glory. And honestly, I think that was my favorite match from that show. But I digress. Basically now he has beaten this man not once, but twice. At first it was just going to be a simple grudge match after these two had just been brawling each other and Michael Elgin is trying to get his name back into the championship picture. He's obviously hunting for that. But since Michael Elgin has beaten him now twice, the trophy and the Call Your Shot stipulations on the line, which means the winner of this can basically be your next challenger to the Impact World Championship. Now we all know Michael Elgin, he took on Brian Cage for the Impact World Championship back at Slammiversary in the semi-main event in a match to remember. Didn't get it done there. So what happened? He basically went on a tirade, destroyed everybody in his path, and has basically still been doing the same thing. Although he has not been in the ring yet with Tessa Blanchard or Sami Callihan. So there is that. But I also figure about Eddie Edwards and his unstableness, and I could see him virtually facing Sami Callihan for that title, now that Sami Callihan has it, because the two are legitimately insane. Of course, Eddie Edwards coming off that crazy picture with Ace Austin, where Ace Austin wanted to sleep with his wife. What is with this place and Brazzers influences? Come on now. Is Brazzers working for this company? But I digress. Anyway, keeping it simple, I don't know, because Eddie Edwards has held the title. That's when he had his brain. And truth be told, Eddie Edwards, he is a bit of a psychopath. And he will do whatever it takes to win. He is kind of hard to kill. But then you have Michael Elgin, who is unbreakable, violent, and will do anything to win this because he wants to become Impact World Champion. So I guess the question in my mind is, who do I see challenging the champion next, no matter what the result? Out of these two, per se, if one of them is next, I'm going to say that Eddie Edwards retains it. And maybe he'll even use Kenny and the ref will get knocked out. I mean, that ref's like a kid anyway. But I'm going to say Eddie Edwards retains his trophy. Moving on from there, speaking of which, the Ace himself, Ace Austin, versus a boy from my town, shout out to you, Trey Miguel representing the Rascals. And once again, this all comes down to one thing. Ace wants to sleep with Trey Miguel's mom. You sick fuck. So basically, what do I see happening here with the fact that he's also having, scum in his corner at every turn to help him basically win his matches, per se. Now, truth be told, Ace Austin, he won this title with the help of his spring-up pull staff thing, knocking off Tessa Blanchard from the top of the ladder. I thought Tessa Blanchard was going to become X Division Champion and use Option C to get the match that we're going to go into soon. But with that being said, that didn't happen. Ace Austin now holds the title. So, blah, 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 blah. Keeping it simple here because there really isn't much more to this. The man just wants to sleep with his mom. Oy vey. What weird angles this place goes through. Attitude and rated M indeed. But with that being said, keeping it simple, I'm just going to say that because I don't think Trey Miguel has yet been the X Division Champion, and I wouldn't mind seeing a change. But honestly, they're probably going to keep going with this. Who knows the next mom Ace will want to sleep with according to his character. But I'm not going against my hometown boy. Win it for Toledo, bro. I'm going with Trey Miguel for the win. I sense new champion. There. Alright, speaking of champions, as we continue down the line, let's talk about the women's the Knockouts division. As current Knockouts champion, aka Knockout of the year 2019, Laura Loca, Taya Valkyrie, she defends her title against not just Jordan Grace, who beat her by pinning her in a tag match on the Access TV debut, but also former Knockouts champion ODB, who also beat her, but in a main event match. She, Taya, be thankful it was non-title. I guess Giant Bravo has been more or less a hindrance than an actual factor. I mean, last time Giant Bravo actually really helped her was back at Rebellion when it was Jordan Grace versus Taya Valkyrie one-on-one. And truth be told, Jordan Grace, back then she was really known as just a newcomer in the Knockouts division, basically getting her footing in. But she likes this division, thinks it's one of the best, likes how the fact that, you're not in one story, there's another one for you. And she's gotten some tremendous wins over the year, including against Tessa Blanchard. But with that being said, and her being the longest reigning Knockouts champion, I honestly don't know who could take this title off her. Jordan Grace right now seems the most convincing. Before that, I thought it would be Tenille Dashwood, who y'all know was the former Emma. Always makes it about her. Basically, right now, she's just playing Peacekeeper, per se. And she's just on the outside looking in. If she had a title opportunity at Bound for Glory, couldn't do it. So, do I see a title change here? That is the question. Well, I suppose if anyone could do it, per se, it could be ODB because she is a former Knockouts champion, but it would be a nice breakout moment to see Jordan Grace wins it. But I also got to consider that wild factor in Johnny Bravo. And I'm not talking about the cartoon. I'm talking about, Johnny Impact's heartthrob, per se. Crooked Ref. Well, former Ref. I am going to say that this is the first pay-per-view too, so you need to have some sort of big moments and changes. You know what? Let's just go for it. I'm going to say that Jordan Grace goes into this year and becomes the new Knockouts champion. And maybe we'll set up between her and ODB. There's a lot of killable talent in the Knockouts division. I can see Kiara Hogan going after Jordan Grace. I mean, she's gone after her previously. Madison Ray being a locker room leader. Obviously, she's not going to face a heel for the title, so why not? And I feel like ODB, with her working in between both Impact and the NWA, and of course there's no partnership fully confirmed between the two, as far as we know, I just feel like Jordan Grace be a nice breakout moment for her. I think she deserves it. I'm going to go with Jordan Grace for the win. Which leads us to the biggest reason, and the number one reason I'm watching this show. Hence the autograph. You can see it on my wall. It is The Draw, The Death Machine, Sami Callihan, current Impact Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion. And by the way, they redesigned the belts from blue and gold to red and gold. I think they look better. Versus unbreakable, undeniable, Diamonds Are Forever, Wrestler of the Year. First woman, I might add, to do that for Impact Wrestling. She also won Match of the Year with this guy. And Move of the Year. Must I say more? It's freaking Tessa Blanchard. Alright, so let's just talk about this a little bit. There's been rumor has it that her contract's due to expire this upcoming summer. And we all know one place people want her to go to. AEW. But, another person that she knows very well is officially now with the WWE. Mercedes Martinez. Those two had a tremendous 75-minute long Iron Woman match, and you can watch that on Rise Wrestling for the archives. Thank you for that, by the way. But Tessa Blanchard, she's also participated in the Mae Young Classic against Kairi Sane. And she lost out there. In Impact Wrestling, Don Callis has brought in this idea of intergender wrestling, but then we have this idea of equality, and hence these two, they had the match anniversary. But then it was also pushed as the main event, and these two changed the game for Impact Wrestling, it seemed, since that day forward. Hence why they won Match of the Year. But also, this is the second year in a row Sami Callihan won Match of the Year after his previous match in 2018 against Pentagon. Yeesh. Also at Slammiversary. So Sami wins the title in the Access TV debut. I thought for sure he was going to win that Bound for Glory. Nope, they saved it for the TV debut. Who comes out immediately? Tessa Blanchard. He claims that she stole his moment. These two have been bickering. They've been talking about each other. They've been fighting each other, 1-on-1, 2-on-2, you name it, backstage brawl, parking lot, street fight, into a truck, police tape used. They have done everything and said everything they can to each other. And then they talked about both their legacies as wrestlers. Because this isn't intergender wrestling, this is just wrestling. In their words, especially Sami's words. Sami talking about how he basically groomed himself, owned his craft to become a professional wrestler, to the point that his fans are like, no, continue your dream. No, continue your dream. On their deathbeds, I might add. And then you have Tessa Blanchard, who was born and bred, it seemed, for professional wrestling. But though it wasn't necessarily a calling for her, it found her. And again, it was the men she started off with. You talk about Tully Blanchard. You talk about her stepfather, that Tully Blanchard has been in the ring countless times. You might remember him, T.A. Magnum. And then you just talk about her drive, determination. Oofa, by the way, hell of a shiner in that video. And basically, this is about her winning, not as a woman, not as an equal, but basically just as the best, making history in her own way. While Sami just truly wants her to bring everything. And I'm not doing that again. And basically, he says that they're going to, once again, I'm going to make you famous, and you better bring everything, because I'm not going to treat you like an equal. I'm going to treat you as a wrestler, but I'm going to destroy the living shit out of you. And then Tessa wonders if she loses here, she has a lot to think about. Think about. Oh, man. Women, gender, wrestling, that all seems to be at the forefront. All I see right here is two of the best professional wrestlers, if not the two best wrestlers in Impact Wrestling, going at it in the main event because they deserve it. But that leads me to my final thought. Who do I see leading Impact Wrestling into the future as the world champion? Sami's been fighting this for so long. To think, this is what he wanted to do in WWE and NXT. And they said no. They went with the Sami idea for a different leader in a different way, and it all fell apart. There's no way the other company would have did this. And then you have Tessa Blanchard, who is breaking all the barriers, per se, gets the torch passed to her by him even, I might add, back at Rebellion. And she's also owning, crafting, and grooming the future women wrestlers through Women of Wrestling. And I believe she's still their world champion. And yes, they're both in the same network. That's why I realized that. But I just don't know if I see her winning this so soon. I honestly thought we were going to go all the way with this till Slammiversary this year, personally. Because I feel it'll be a huge combination. But if she doesn't win at this point, I don't know, honestly, if I see her getting another opportunity at this. Because she literally went through a gauntlet of men, including one of her best friends, Brian Cage, to earn this opportunity. She truly deserves it. So, with OVE running everything, and honestly, Sammy, though, before the title, he's done everything too. This could go either way, personally. I'm very fickle on this. But I gotta pick a winner. That's part of my exhibition game with my friends. You know who you are. I am going to say that the vile, disgusting, shameless, and Tessa Blanchard's words, the draw, the death machine, Sami Callihan, will retain the title. Somehow, some way, I just feel like right now it's too soon to pull the trigger on Tessa Blanchard becoming the world champion. I feel like she's ultimately going to achieve that, but again, I personally would have waited to do this until Slammiversary. So with that being said, I still see Tessa Blanchard. She's going to go through rethinking stuff right now, but I just see her right now before she leaves Impact, if she's going to leave. I see her becoming champion, but I don't want her to necessarily become champion now and then lose it at Slammiversary per se to, I don't know, Sami Callihan again. And then you just basically rewind like, oh, that's it. I got my moment. Because more so, she doesn't need this title. She's out to make history. That's what she wants to own and create. History. Regardless, she's making history with this match. But her as champion would be something incredible. But I just don't see Impact Wrestling pulling the trigger on it. Especially with everything Sami Callihan is doing. And honestly, I don't see Sami Callihan going after any other title once he loses this one per se. So, begrudgingly, I am going to say that... I'm sorry, Tessa. She's hard to kill. Fuck me. You see how much I care about this match and to follow these two people's career. Plus, again, Ohio, that holds a near place for me because I'm from Toledo, Ohio. Ohio versus everything. Just going to say it. I'm going to say that Sami Callihan retains over Tessa Blanchard. Damn it. Alright, well with that being said, those are my extended thoughts and analysis on Impact Wrestling's Open Pay-Per-View for 2020 in my Simplin Predictin Wrestling series. Hard to kill. Many of these people are truly going to showcase that here. I sense big moments, I sense surprise upsets, I sense a huge win, and I sense a go-home moment that will be unexpected, but one to be remembered. But with that being said, let me know your predictions in the comments down below. What match are you most excited for, and what do you hope to see from Impact Wrestling this year? I would love to hear from you. If you want to know more about me, know this. I'm just a simple man. And if you haven't figured out by now, I am a lifelong fan of wrestling. Not just sports entertainment, but wrestling as its whole. And the good, the bad, the indifferent. So if you want to follow me and talk anything wrestling, the 5 brands of WWE, New Japan Pro Wrestling, which is my number 1, AEW, Ring of Honor, Impact, Stardom, Pro Wrestling Noah, NWA, and Independent Wrestling in general. Support Independent Wrestling, folks. Look me up on Twitter, nodq.com/Noah takes you to my Twitter page, or follow me here on my YouTube channel here, youtube.com/user/NoahFawcett210. You'll find all sorts of videos here, a nice, neat, organized, simple playlist for you. Everything wrestling, from predictions, retakes, reviews, recaps, etc. More content to come. Follow me on Instagram if you want, #SimManLife, @InFoster1916. I'll give you a hello, and I'll tell you a little bit about my stories and tells in wrestling for wrestling events I attend, and my thoughts on it too. If you haven't figured it out by now, support NoDQ. The reason I even got into YouTube, forever indebted to NoDQ family. Thank you, Aaron Riff and Company. Go buy a shirt, go buy a tapestry, buy a mug, buy what fits you. Just do it and support my friends. NoDQ.com/merch takes you to the store. Follow NoDQ on social media platforms. Your opinions matter, conversations and everything. Polls, columns, memes, gifts, reviews, recaps, sexy female pics. Why the hell do I feel like I'm back at Judgment Day 2003 and some of this stuff? Good grief. Yes, I watched that. And I don't regret it. Oh, man. Anyway, your opinions matter. Please follow them. And also, as I like to close, support your wrestling house, big and small. Let's keep growing this incredible, diverse, unique, elite, hard to kill, constantly growing wrestling community together. Simple as that. With that, thank you for tuning in. Please, again, like, share, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell to know the next video is going to go live. Hit the subscribe button. Help me grow this channel. I hope to actually grow it, and I'm going to try to, because in the end, this is just fun for me. This is just wrestling. Simple as that. But with that being said, stay tuned for further content here on this channel. I'll be doing #2 for Live Matters Double Featurette. I will also be doing with Aftermatch Wrestling predictions on NXT UK TakeOver Blackpool 2 with Meacham Wrestling Network and Talk Wrestling. I'll also be doing recaps with him on both Impact Wrestling Hard to Kill and NXT UK TakeOver Blackpool 2. That should be a lot of fun. Also, I just got done doing something with Cleaver Con Andrew. What's the Beef? Please tune into his channel as well. If you don't know any of these channels, just look them up in my wrestling community tab, along with everything else I've seen, watched, and support in wrestling, user creators, environments, galore, etc. And stay tuned, of course, I'll also be taking part again in the Team No DQ Predictions League, where we will be predicting the Royal Rumble to kick off this year's league. Follow Aftermatch Wrestling on Facebook, by the way. And one more thing I forgot to mention. Oh, yeah, of course, Team Unity Cube will be back with the NWA Hard Times pay-per-view, and we'll be predicting on that. And then we'll come back in February, kick things off with Osaka and Sapporo, the new beginning. I'll also be going to an AEW Dynamite Live, so stay tuned for a live Simple Take following that, probably the following day, because I will be in college and coming back home from Cleveland. And I cannot wait to see AEW. And yes, that will be the shirt I will be wearing. But with that, I'm done here, and I gotta prepare now for Wednesday night with AEW Diamond NXT. So again, oh, and Worlds Collide too. I will be doing predictions on that. I gotta organize everything. So much wrestling. It's hard to organize dates. I think Ring of Honor has a show coming up too. But I'm done, so until next time, take care, enjoy life. Tomorrow's never guaranteed. Treasure your families, enjoy wrestling. There's something out there for everybody. Find what works for you and what connects to you. And until the next video, I hope you all, please enjoy both incredible pay-per-views. NXT UK TakeOver Blackpool 2 and Impact Wrestling Hard to Kill if you can. And of course, have a good night.